So b'yom shematziyin shnei sefer Torah. In a day when they take out 2 sefer Torah, that could be any yontif or what. V'nimtza psul b'rishon, and there's a psul in the first sefer Torah. Now, the question is, what should you do? You took out 2 sefer Torahs, so usually when you take out 2 sefer Torah, you take them out together, and someone is sitting by the sefer Torah and holding the sefer Torah. So the question is, should you go to the Aron Kodesh and take out another sefer Torah, because this sefer Torah is staying there? Or should you take the other sefer Torah? You have one right over there. So he's saying, start again. B'yom shematziyin shnei sefer Torah, v'nimtza psul b'rishon, and there's a psul in the first one. V'yesh oid sefer Torah b'hechel. There's a third sefer Torah available in the Aron Kodesh. V'roitzim l'kachas ato as a sefer hasheni likrois mitaycha. So some people say, what are you going to the Aron Kodesh? There's someone sitting right up here with the second sefer Torah. Let's take that sefer Torah. That's what they want to do. And we need it for the second one. So we have no problem. We have another one in the Aron Kodesh. We'll take out the third one. So he says, Loi yasu kain. We shouldn't do that. This is wrong. Why is it wrong? He says, Ki tzrichen likres mitaycha sefer Torah ma shehuchen b'shvilei. In other words, someone usually in a shul, there's a gabbai or a shamus that prepares the sefer Torah. In other words, that you shouldn't have to be goyel the sefer Torah. So everything is prepared that when someone comes up to take out the sefer Torah, do psicha, it's, in fact, there's other shuls that they even have like a little piece of metal on it, which will say that this is maftir. I mean, they should know what's what. So he says, if a sefer Torah was prepared to be read as maftir, you have to read maftir from it. So therefore he says, some of the reason is, it's like a bizoyin to the sefer Torah. Like let's say, like you invited a guest, and then the door is locked and you don't let him in. So he says, "Well, Yasaken, they shouldn't do this. What it was prepared for, that's what you're supposed to read from. Now he says,
hold on one second. So then what you do is you go and you take out the other sefer Torah.
You take out the other sefer Torah. And this sefer Torah has its
job.
purpose, what it was
right.
To be useful. Now, yesterday, we were there was a story that was told. The whole Maisa that happened by the Frierdiker Rebbe, and the understanding was a certain understanding, and I was trying to teach it into these words over here, but the truth is that's not the pshat over here. What it says over here is a very simple thing, the next line. Let's read it now inside. He says as follows. B'chein, b'yom shematziyin gimel sefer Torah. In a day like Shabbos Chanukah, you take out 3 sefer Torah. Not talking about a psul now, but v'im neschalfu ha-sefer Torah shalok chutchila es ha-muchen l'achakach. That means that this Shabbos Chanukah, you take out 3 sefer Torah. One is for Parshas Miketz, one is for the Chodesh, and one is for Chanukah. Now, sefer Torah number 2, the middle one, is for Rosh Chodesh. Okay, you take out the 3 sefer Torah. 2 people sit down, holding the sefer Torah, and one person is the Baal Kodesh. He opens up the sefer Torah, and I get a cup, and he sees this is a Chodesh. It's in Pinchas, and we just have a Torah for Bereshis, for Miketz. What is he supposed to do? So you know what you're supposed to do? Listen to this word over here. The first word is, you know what he should do? He says, Yigalgaluhu. Yigalgaluhu does not mean, that's what we tried to touch yesterday. Yigalgaluhu does not mean that you should be going the Sefer Torah all the way back to Bereshit. That's not what it means. No, that's not what it means.
Means close, make do galila.
Because otherwise, the words that say after this wouldn't fit in. So he says Yigalgaluhu, that means close it back. Do galila.
Do galila.
Do galila. And what should you do then? The Yikul as a base, and take number 2,
which you mixed up with him.
Which you mixed up. Number 2 is really by Mikates, okay? Because you were supposed to take it in the beginning,
right?
But you didn't do it. So being that you didn't do it, now take that one. What's the reason? Likros, in order to read, to read what was prepared. Every Sefer Torah was prepared for something special.
Okay, exactly
opposite. So I'm saying, because I was trying to fit the word Yigalgaluhu into your story.
And what was the story?
The story, according to this, the story has no basis. We were trying to find if the story happened.
According to this, the story is
that
the right thing?
No, that didn't happen then.
Yeah.
Someone made it. Told the story would never happen.
Okay.
It was against the law. They said that they were gullible, each one. Well, the Chayil it wasn't, because it said like this.
When I heard that story, I was trying to fit it into here,
No,
but the words are very...
It's simple to do it the right way.
Let's read it again. He says, Im Yichlifu HaSefer Torah Shelokhu Tchila Es HaMuchen Le'achar Kach. They took the first one, the Balkaida takes the first one, and it happened to be the one that was supposed to be the second one.
Or the third. Makes a difference.
Whatever. Good, I'm giving that as an example.
Right.
But he took the wrong one. He opens it up, and he sees it's either by Chanukah, by Baloischa, or he sees that it's a Shchodesh. So what should he do now? So he says, so you may say, oh, he opened Sefer Torah. No, you have to be goyel because it will be a bizoyin if you don't use the Sefer Torah.
His whole thing was wrong. Glad we got it straight. He's going to repeat it now.
Okay, I'll repeat it again. Okay, I said that yesterday. He told a story.
Yeah.
And I tried. We're free to get up here. Okay, and I tried to fit that story into this din over here. It's not the pshat. It's wrong. So I don't know about this. I'm not commenting anything about the story, but I'm saying what this is. The simple words of it, very simple. Let's look. First, he talks about.
But look inside. Without looking inside, you don't understand. You don't appreciate it.
First, he talks about. Look, see if you. First, he talks about if you took out 2 Sefer Torah, and there was a psul in 1 Sefer Torah, what should you do? Should you go to your encouragement to take another Sefer Torah, or should you take the Sefer Torah that someone's sitting there and holding it? So he says, so some would think that you take the other Sefer Torah that's holding it, and then later you'll be goyel. So he says, no, that's wrong. He says, why? Ki tzrichen likros mitoich haSefer Torah marshu hukum b'shvirei. Okay. Now he says
that's the whole nakuda.
Now he says v'chein b'yom shemetziyin gimel Sefer Torah, in a day when you take out 3 Sefer Torah, and what happened? And they're sitting, they come up with the 3 Sefer Torah. Two people sit down. One person gives the Balkaida a sefer, and the Balkaida opens the sefer. He opens the sefer and he sees he's supposed to lay Mikates. That's the first thing. And he sees that this Sefer Torah is for Chanukah or it's for Rosh Hashanah. What should he do? So he says, look inside the words now. V'chein b'yem shemetziyin gimel Sefer Torah. In a day when you take out 3 Sefer Torah, Im Luchafu HaSefer Torah Shelokhu Tchila Es HaMuchen Le'achar Kach. In other words, okay, so in a day of 3, so the same din could apply. That they took, he says the words, V'chein Im Luchafu HaSefer Torah. There was an exchange with the mix-up. Shelokhu Tchila. They took, as the first one, they took as a Sefer Torah mudul lachakach, the Sefer Torah that was prepared for later. So you may think, now the next word is Yigalgulu. So you may think Yigalgulu means that you should be goyal with Sefer Torah. So he says, no, Yigalgulu, close it. You do Galila. Why do you do Galila? And so where are you going to lay in? You'll take the right Sefer Torah. Not the one that's supposed to be Miketz Taken. Why is it, he says, V'yikhu es habeis, likros mitoich kol Sefer Torah, l'mar shehuchim. So each Sefer Torah will be...
It's not the same thing as before.
It is. It's the same. It is the same thing. No, before. No. The idea here is like this: because something was prepared for it, you don't change.
No matter what.
In the first case and in the second case. In the first case, you go get another one.
That's right.
In the second case, you switch out the Sefer Torah.
It's out already.
It's out. Now you just go take it.
And Yigalgulu does not mean the way we were thinking yesterday because of his story. That's how we were trying to touch into his story.
Close it.
Just
Do Galila, close it up, take the right one. Of course, each one should be used for the one that it was set aside.
That's right.
Yeah, that makes it the Pasha.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's come again,
But your story, threw it over. Okay. Now we go into the next halacha, which talks about who gets the aliyah first. Everyone has certain opinions. They think, this is always must get an aliyah. I once had a person here in shul that started davening here because he came over and told me it was his daughter's birthday, and I didn't give him an aliyah. If the Rebbe writes that you should try to take
Is it in the list?
Huh?
Is it in the list over here?
Yeah.
It's on the list? A child's birthday?
No, it's not on the list.
I just want to know if it's in this list.
The Rebbe writes.
I'm just telling you a story that the guy got so upset with her, it's not even on the list there at all. It's not the last on the list. It's not on the list, period. The Rebbe writes you should do it. It's a besonder inyan, Okay, so he says, say the chiyuvim, hakaydim kaydim. In other words, what is the first? Who's number one? Number one is, he says, chosen b'yem chupasay. Number one, chosen, let's say, this could mean he's getting married. If you want, you can say Shabbos night. Or you could say that we're talking about Monday and Thursday.
Or
Yeah. So he says, chosen b'yem chupasay. Then a second is, chosen b'Shabbos shelfnei hachasana. That means what we call a neifruf. Now, chosen b'yem chupasay, I don't know, maybe if you want, you could maybe touch it also. That means that he got married, let's say, Friday. So at night is Yom Chupasay, so if you want to ding sich on that. Shemizamim loy.
Before Shabbos.
That's the second thing. Chosen b'Shabbos shelfnei hachasana.
Right now, but I'm saying the thing what you just said now, Friday night, the chuppah really has to be
I
before
understand.
Shabbos.
I'm saying
Okay,
maybe.
Saying the Gemara, I think, is on Shabbos.
But now he's saying chosen b'Shabbos shelfnei hachasana shemizamim loy. What does it mean mizamrim loy? They used to have a minig. Today it's also popular, but there was a minig that the chosen had an eifruf, so they would bring him. The people would meet by his house, and they would walk him to shul, and they would sing.
Yeah.
I remember this. I'm on Montgomery Street hearing him.
What was that?
I remember it being done.
Garbage show is to go.
Okay.
Garbage show is to
The
go.
Varsa.
Yeah, but I'm all given a minig.
Aber viele מזמנים לו איכת ומבפתן, הם סינגו
That's
זה בלייטמן. זה בלייטמן.
So he says, so Beis is chosen b'Shabbos shelfnei hachasana shemizamim loy. Now, what does it mean shemizamim loy? So he explains. What's the diik shemizamim loy? So he says, shehu bocha, because if it's a second marriage, he's also a chosen, but then he doesn't have the mizamim one. Now, this also explains the minig is that we make a chuppah out on the street, Why do we make a chuppah out on the street? Pasha is taichis because it should be tachas hashemayim, and it's a bracha like the stars, you know, and then it's stated that's like Kabbalas HaTorah, because just like Kabbalas HaTorah was Kafalem HaGigas, and it stated that it was a seatful. The mountain was a seatful, so that's why also by a chassan it has to do with Kabbalas HaTorah. But a second marriage, we don't do it.
No, you do
The
it
second
inside.
marriage is made inside.
After.
Bedavka.
Yeah, it's always done inside.
Why is a first marriage made outside, second marriage made inside? So they say that has to do with the luchas. Because the first luchas were nitnu b'kol, so that's why they were nishtabru. The second luchas you do it quiet already. So that's why they make the chuppah inside. Here you make the chuppah outside, it's like piercing, and here you quiet down the piercing. The mele, so that's why the chassan, that's a bacher, is the first time getting married, so they sing with him, bringing him to shul. They sing with him like the whole shtetl. It gets involved. Everyone hears people singing. They walk out and they look and they want to know what's happening. It's like a shtetl, like when they make a siyum sefer title here, you know. So he says, so Beis is, let's get back over here. Beis is chassan, the Shabbos of Nea Chasna, Shem Mezamrim Loi. The Hainu, that means to tell us, Shehu Bacha. V'nar, Shenasa Ba Mitzvah, V'oisa Shavua. A boy, that's another one. A boy that's becoming Ba Mitzvah. This is. So now, if you look at the words over here, V'nar, Shenasa Ba Mitzvah, V'oisa Shavua, yeah, so L'chayre means he became bar mitzvah that week. In other words, you're going to say his bar mitzvah was on Thursday. It became Thursday, and Shabbos.
The first time
the first time has a liyah. Because some, let's say it wasn't Thursday. Let's say Wednesday. Right. So they don't give him a liyah if it's Thursday. The Lubavitch the minhag is bedavke the mincha or during the week. But in the Welt, they wait till Shabbos to give their liyah.
Aber dacht in der Welt dann gibt Aliyah noch die Bar Mitzvah.
Ja,
das sagt man doch noch.
Sagt noch da.
The Heimer Shavim means the Chassan and Bar Mitzvah Chayiku.
The Heimer Shavim, they are.
They are both number 2 on the list.
Number 2.
Right.
The Chassan and Bar Mitzvah.
Right.
Who Taka goes first?
Heimer Shavim. There's a story told that once in Satama, they had a chassan and a bar mitzvah, and they asked the Rav over there, I remember it's a little bit of a tzon or something, but they asked the Rav, who should we give first? So he answered, Zozam versus Alpha. Huh?
That is out
Yeah. But here he said, the Heimer Shavim, so...
It said her parents was married before Bar Mitzvah.
Okay.
He put her talent before. Yeah.
Okay, so it fits in with the story. Then there's Sandik B'Yom HaMilah. And who is the Sandik? He says, who HaTaifes Es HaTinik B'Shas HaMilah. That's the one that holds the child. He is, because he's like a Kohen Gadol. Said that the inyan of Sandik is like a Ketaitis. That's why I state that by a Sandik, people used to pay money to be a Sandik because it's Misasha. Just like the Kohanim that did the Ketaitis in the Beis HaMikdash, that was the source. They got rich from that. So the same thing also. He's a very high level person, Sandik.
I think a Rai would give $500.
Yeah.
The wording here, teifus.
He's holding.
Yeah, machzik is to hold. Teifus is to grab. I don't understand what.
No, he has to hold good. He has to hold good. If he doesn't hold good,
that's what happened with my father when he asked the Rebbe to be sandik for my brother Shalom Be'er. The Rebbe had never been a sandik before. The first one.
Yeah.
So he went to the Friedrich Rebbe, our Rebbe, and he has Vostaf a Sandig Ton. The Rebbe said that Sandig that good halt in the skin.
Yeah.
My mother says the Lashon fest halt in the skin. That's why I could use the face.
Okay.
Before the seas.
Before the seas. The first time we ever did it. That's why there's only one letter in the whole world for Pidyon Ben. That's a Shalom Ben. There's no other letter in the whole world.
Then he says also, another one,
There's no letters in there. All the letters.
Sandik b'yem hamigo, shemachnes as a tinnik l'beis hakneses l'moyla. L'chayre, that means what we call a kvata. Because the Seder, the Chayre, that's what it means. The Chayre, the Seder was that kvata is a husband and a wife, okay, or a man and a lady. The most popular is a husband and a wife, and the wife. Now, where is the baby before the bris?
The mother.
So the mother. Where's the mother? In the Ezus Noshim. So you need a woman to take the child from the mother. And the woman can't come into the shul. There's the men are in there. So the woman comes till the door, and then the husband takes over, and he brings in the child. It fits in with the words over here. Sandik, b'yem hamira, shemachnas eratinik l'beis hakneses l'moyla.
So Kvater is a choshev.
So kommt das auf Isaiah. The kvata is a very choshev thing. It's usually just a segula, someone that didn't have children yet, you look at, but you see that kvata is a very choshev thing. The Rebbe says, in Likkutei Sichos, the Rebbe brings over there, what is the word kvata?
Kifata.
Oh, so 1 minute. So in the Welt, they say that it's like in English there's the expression Godfather. So kvata is Godfather for kids. Kvata. The Rebbe said that's not what it is. The kvata is two words: covered tear. The cover to bringing into the door.
Oh, covered tear.
Yeah, the cover to bring into the door. In other words, one brings to the door, one takes from the door. That's what the Rebbe writes in the back in the Likkutei Sichos. I think it's a Chelik Gimel, if I remember correctly. So we're up to
Hey.
Then there comes Bal Hayoldis Sheyolda Bas Voilech is a basic nessus. Here's another interesting thing. In other words, there is a minig that many women do it today also. That the woman, the first time that she goes out of the shul, the house, after giving birth, she goes to a shul to hear a Davar Shabbat. As is done minig. So he's saying that the husband, that his wife came to shul, so that husband, in other words, you can't give the woman an aliyah, so therefore you give the husband an aliyah. So V'yizah Moshe, let's say, everyone knows you had a baby, so you give an aliyah, right? But V'yizah, if the woman doesn't come to shul, then it's not, it doesn't fit. That's what it says in Fedish. And then he says, the next is Baal HaYoldus, Sheyolda Bain, Voileches LeBeis HaKnesses. That same thing.
She's going.
Yeah.
Abbas is first.
Yeah. Now, why is a Abbas first? Because the other one has an opportunity. There's a whole bris and everything, and by the Bas there's nothing. I mean, so that's why now. But look what he says the next line. What I just said before. V'im einim holchos lebeis hakneses, ein habayim chiyuvim. They're not a chiyuv. They are a chiyuv because of their wife, and if the wife doesn't come, so they're not a chiyuv.
You could lose a lot of maspalim on that one.
Ella, unless he says, imhu yoim mem aleph v'zocher, a yom pei aleph in the keva. Now that means what this is. She'oz huzman havos hakom. The din is when we pasha isha kisazriya. So we know that there's 7 days and then there's 14 days. There's 7 days by Zal, and then there's either 40-day period of Yemei Tara, or there's 80 days period of Yemei Tara. And when it comes this day, Yom Melois, it's called the Yom Melois, they have to bring a korban. So the Aliyah takes the place of the korban. And also, number 7 is Chasan Shahaisa Chasanosai Miyem Daled Va'elech B'Shabbos Shala'acha HaChasan. In other words, before he spoke about a Chasan, about the Eifruf. So now if Marshal, his Chasana was, he got an aliyah to the Eifruf. But if his chas was, let's say, Thursday, so then Thursday has a shaykhus with Shabbos, because 3 days before Shabbos, we say in the Yom, we say already the Chunir Anana. So B'meila, so he already is a chiv that time for chasna. V'davka k'shoya bacha, or he besula. Because no, because there's a din of 3 days. 3 days is simcha, chiv simcha, and the other one is 7 days. So it's within 3 days is.
But if his wedding was Sunday night, you don't have to give him an aliyah.
Right.
You don't have to give him aliyah the next Shabbos.
Next Shabbos.
Next year you have to give him aliyah.
But it was Wednesday night, it's dying to
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Then finally comes Yortzeit. Everybody thinks Yortzeit is, and Yortzeit by Bayim. That if it's Yortzeit is on Shabbos. Everyone thinks that the Yortzeit is the first one, it's a whole different cheshbon. You want to stop here? No? It's after 5.
Where would you ever let this fit into this whole thing?
In the Bavitcher Sefer Menhoven.